Hello and welcome to the terrible temporal time trials of Lobsang Blood. I don't know if I used that title before or not. I just run out of things to say. In the last episode we got attacked by Klingons and died, but didn't die. Just sort of stolen through time. We are basically in the movie Free Jack now. We're being hijacked at the point of death, move forward in time, and who knows, maybe somebody wants to use us for our body. We've got this Bolian here, who told us we had to go meet with the brass. Who knew this loose brass in the 24th or 25th century? I thought they used like uranium or tritanium or something like that. Brass is so old-fashioned. So let's welcome to Earth Space Dock.
You're scheduled for a meeting with the top brass, so you might want to update your uniform beforehand. The Admiral can be a stickler for that sort of detail, after all.
Yes, you said that at the end of the last episode. But we need to go follow the tailor. Fine. The lighted path. We've got a work bee sort of path. So all these shuttles. Runabouts.
Condition Alpha. Repeat. Condition Alpha.
This is much bigger than the bar with some offices dotted around it. Wonder if that guy ever got his parents come pick him up. Remember the one who was sitting outside the principal's office like a naughty schoolboy? I'm assuming waiting for the principal. Maybe his uniform wasn't right. Okay. Let's go to...
Welcome to my shop. That's a fine replica uniform you have there. Mid-23rd century, yes. My compliments to your replicator. Now, if you'd like to update to something from this century, have a look around and let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
Okay, thank you, you weird guy.
Hello. You can alter your uniform and look here.
And that's something we'll do another time. But let's just push on ahead with the storyline. Okay, now talk to Temporal Agent Philip Cray. Or is he Philip Cray? This is big. Fancy. Definitely a big improvement over the 3 offices in the bar. Back where it came from. Philip Cray.
Welcome to the 25th century. We've been expecting you. Your new cover identity is in place, and Admiral Quinn's expecting you in the office behind me. Report to him for your orders. Remember, do not tell anyone about your status as a temporal agent. Your goal is to observe and correct, not to interfere.
Okay, I guess I understand, but thank you. I have a temporal transponder, temporal trait, temporal recruit. Now, temporal agent, you have a new trait that gives bonus dilithium to you and my teammates. Woohoo! Temporal agent will be able to earn additional rewards as complete later missions. So let's see what this temporal transponder does. I'll put it in the first thing. It makes it less likely for me to lose it, easy to find. Let's see. So complete missions to rank up your captain. This one is done already. Reach level 10. Well, we just reached level 10. What's in this box? Some equipment. Okay. Specializations. Requires level 50. Well, I'm only level 10. R&D. Requires level 50. play through the episodes.
Priority
Klingon
contact
War,
on sensors.
Romulan Mystery, etc. Admiralty requires level 52. Reputation requires level 50. Duty officers requires level 12, so we'll get started on that soon. And then fleet, join other captains in the fleet for a bonus at level 30. Then there's these temporal probes in various missions. So, see how that goes. And, we'll find some more dilithium. Still only got the 2,000 energy credits. You'd think there are 150 years of compound interest would make that go up, but apparently not. Must be the Ferengis running the banks. Let's go see what this guy wants.
I've recommended you for a command position on board a ship of the line. There are several fine ships available for an officer of your caliber. Head to the shipyard to select your new ship, then return to me for your assignment.
So I get to pick my own ship? I mean, wow. I guess that's how the military works in that time, you know. Not just post scarcity, I can pick my ship to command. Not them assign it to me. Which means they've got a bunch just going spare. Can I have all three? Can I be a little admiral? Okay, so down here there's like managing ships and acquiring ships. So we are supposed to go to the ship vendor. That's her. And acquire a ship. So, congratulations on your promotion, Lieutenant Commander. Admiral Quinn has cleared you to select a ship to command. There are several impressive vessels to choose from. Take a look at my store. The ships that are approved to your rank are listed there. So let's browse the ships in my rank. Wow, that's a lot of ships. Now, the reason is that maybe 2-3 years ago they changed things so that now most ships unlock at all ranks. It used to be that as a Lieutenant Commander I could only have Lieutenant Commander and below ships, so rank 1 and Tier 1 and Tier 2 ships. But as of a few, say about 2 years ago, they changed it so now that any ship, basically, as long as I've completed the tutorial, which I'd just done to get that temporal transponder, I can now fly any ships. I could go light warbird, light escort, or I could go... Oh, I hear legendary Jem'Hadar Vanguard pilot attack ship. With all of these mastery things instead of a light cruiser. So let's filter it to what's available. Okay, so I've taken out all the ones. Because I played this a lot, I've got a lot of purchased ships. You can buy ships from this store. There are ships that come as tiers. You get like the original Enterprise NX-01, the prototype light explorer from the Shinzon from the start of Discovery, the Oberth, used with the Grissom and a bunch of other vessels. The Grissom from Star Trek 3 was blown up, as well as other ships like the Raptor from the Klingons, Gorn ship, and Romulan Warbird. Got some bigger ones like good old Dideridex. fly that, or a Cardassian Gallo class cruiser, or a Burrell bird of prey. So, and then all these are available. You use this Zen currency, which is the currency you buy with actual money. You can convert with dilithium at the exchange to 500 dilithium points to 1 Zen point right now. So I've got 4 Zens worth of dilithium. Plus you'll have to wait a while. The exchange is very highly. So let's see about the ships then. What shall we get? Let's stick with the Federation ship. So we can have cruiser. So that's an Enterprise. Enterprise A. Which has some cruiser things and all of these. Go for an escort. Saber class. I don't know much about them, but yeah. It allows me to have cannons, which is like the phasers on the Defiant. Okay, or I can go for a Nova class, which is like a abomination. It's got the nacelles of a sovereign class. It's a science vessel, so it has subsystem targeting and sensor analysis. Sensor analysis. Yes, I can't speak right now. So the question is, what do we want to pick? I mean, since we're a Temporal Agent, I mean, we could also go for a bird of prey, or Raptor from things, or Romulan battle cruiser, or this cruiser refit, which looks just kind of weird, or this temporal science vessel, which, although looks appropriate to us, is going to cost money that I don't seem to have right now. It costs more dilithium than I have. I think there's only really one answer though, and that's got to be this, doesn't it? You can't be a temporal agent from this era and not be flying that kind of era ships. So let's buy that ship. Customize it in a bit. I'm not going to bother changing the names. We'll probably end up being okay. Let's try the US new start. Okay, because it is a new start in a new time. Okay, so now we're going to start. Yes. Right. And do we have to go over to manage it? There's a new start, and we've got an extra rear weapon, and we've got an extra engineering console. So let's make this ship ready. Save it. But we've got some extra weapons. Don't have any extra consoles. Let's see. We want one that does 172 damage per second, or one that does 142. You know, I think I probably want photon torpedo in the back, just for verisimilitude. Or should that be very silly-mitude? What about here? That's a 5, 5, and 5, and I already have a 7.5. Okay. It's better. And the engines I got are better, they got a slightly better turn rate. Not much else, but just a 0.6. The shields. Identical, except I get 20% less disruptor damage. Okay. Well then, I need to go see Admiral Quinn again, I guess.
The shuttle to Saturn will leave in
Deselect
nearly
her.
30 hours.
And Admiral Quinn is here, with a big tick over his head. Admiral Janeway. Never heard of her. Who's she?
I see you chose a fine ship with a top-notch crew, one of Starfleet's best. I hope you're ready to get back out there. A situation has come to my attention, and I'd like you to look into it.
Fine, I'll take the mission in just a second. So now we've done that, we've now got all of a sudden all these episode things. Terran Gamble is right at the bottom because that's a brand new mission down here at the bottom. But, Klingon War, Romulan Mystery, Cardassian Struggle, Borg, New Romulus, Slonny Dice is here, Delta Quadrant, Future Probe, New Frontiers, the Gamma Quadrant, Discovery, a Klingon Civil War, and the Terrans. So, Diplomatic Orders is the first mission. We are going to go through these one by one and not skip.
We have a diplomatic mission for you. An important Vulcan ambassador is traveling from his homeworld to the monastery at Pajem. Capturing the ambassador would be a major coup for the Klingons or Orions, so we're assigning you to make sure everything goes smoothly. You are to escort Ambassador Soketh to Pajem. Please meet him at Vulcan. Once you locate him, speak with him about the transport mission. Do whatever is necessary to keep him safe.
Okay, so go to Vulcan, get the ambassador, take him to Pajem, which is like almost next door, because the Vulcans have been traveling between the two for centuries. It gives me some experience, data shield, and I get to choose either a photon torpedo, does 318 DPS, or a quantum torpedo. It looks like the difference is quantum torpedo does more damage, slower. Let's accept the mission. And need to set up my ship. So we've got these things called stations. So I get to pick who goes where. I think I'm going to like the torpedo spread a bit more. And for this, I've only got one person, and I don't have anybody for there. And I only got one person for there. So I need another engineer. Looks like I need a new officer. So it has to be an engineering officer, because I need it. So, Bajoran engineering officer. It's Yoz. Some rather interesting facial hair. Let's join, okay? And you have engineering team as well. Well, let's see. Bajoran Cadet.
Repeat. Condition Alpha.
And each one has their own traits, by the way. You know, Jordan has details. They've got extra kit performance, extra healing, extra regeneration, thanks to their gods. They have some stealth and exploit damage, and some extra flanking damage. They get more from the kit. Let's say spiritual, some extra healing, and because they're stubborn, they can do that. Tarsi, being an Andorian, has extra perception, and they get more aggressive as they go down fighting somewhat. Fury, it's called. So they get better ranged weapons, skills, better health. And their senses increase. The Vulcan, they get logical, so they can do psionic damage. Have a nerve pinch, which can stun people, and extra physical damage in a melee because they're stronger, as well as they're less likely to be dealt toxic damage because of their damn Vulcan constitution. Tellarite, though, is resilient. Little fire plugs things, they're pig-headed, so they don't get knocked back or anything like that. They're lucky. You know, who doesn't like luck? And they're also creative. Peb, another Tellarite, same. Basic resiliency, though, so he's lucky, and she's got basic resiliency. And they each have skills. Now we can learn, go down to a vendor, and we can increase or change these skills around. In fact, I think I may do that with her. Let's see, what would we want here? No, we want a shovel. Okay. I'm going to see what we can replace it with. Turn from a lockbox. Okay. I think we want an emergency power to shields, because that would really help. I mean, we already got engineering team and emergency power to weapons, so we want emergency power to shields for yours. Let's see if I remember what the trainers are on here. Bridge officer training, yes. We want engineering space. Emergency power to shields. It's 250 energy credits. Also, lucky thing we have 2,000. So I'm going to buy it. And now I have it. Let's go back to our menu. And was it yours we want? We want the atrium skills. And now we can learn emergency power to shields. It was going to cost us some of our expertise that we had, but it's going to be worth it. We need shields to come back, so it's going to cost 400 expertise and consume this manual. So the manual's gone. We've got this, and now for the station, I've got 2 powers to select from. I'm going to pick the power to shields, because why wouldn't I? So now I've got my station set up. on my bridge officers. Nope. Where are you, Commander Bat? Ah, okay. It's about train. Okay. Dotted around are people who want, assignments, changing mission difficulties. I'm doing this on normal. Most people do things on normal. That's how the missions are set up and balanced. You can go to advanced, which makes it much, much harder. The ships take damage less and give you damage more, basically. They're a bit tankier, and you're a bit more a glass cannon. Which will make it hard unless you have your ship set up really well. I mean, even on normal, with a good ship, you can still die quite often. And not that dying is the end of the world on this game. It's very forgiving in that way. Just on the last episode, I died in a hand-to-hand combat with Core, but what really happened was I went unconscious, and my crew could do CPR on me, because that's how it works. When you get phased into a stun, they do CPR on you. Someone's to join a fleet, or form one, but there's more things coming up as we unlock things. One of the things on the transponder was called the duty officer system at rank 12. It's that, but that's what these people are with this symbol over the head. Is around various maps there are people who give extra ones of those. I will explain that in a later episode when we get to that sort of thing. The other thing is the storage. I'm starting to get a little full on my things, so let's do a nice gentle trot and go show you the bank system now that I'm in this century. And run. Okay, so I have this inventory. This is stuff that's on me at all times. Yes, I carry around two warp engine, two impulse engines, 2 warp engines, that sort of. I carry around 5 sets of personal shields, 2 starship shields, 2 impulse engines, 2 warp cores, 2 deflectors on me at all times. I just got big pockets. A whole bunch of weapons, starship weapons, I got a whole photon torpedo launchers shoved down my pocket. Hey baby, that is a photon torpedo in my pocket. But I am also pleased to see you. I also have a bank where I can keep various things. And another one that's shared between the whole account. So in here, I'm going to put these regenerators. Now these are used when you play at the more advanced difficulty. When you get knocked out, as I did there, you get health issues. So you get injuries. So if I'd been playing on a higher difficulty level when Core knocked me out there, I would have got an injury which would have reduced one of my stats somewhat. And these are used to remove them in the field. Got rid of those. One of the things I like to do as well is to take anything I don't like and I'm not going to use and drop them down to the bottom. And it's usually definitely the stuff with no mark numbers on it. So the standard issue stuff, because it's just, well, it's bottom of the barrel stuff, isn't it? It's the starting stuff. So I mean, might as well just get rid of it, because it's just taking up space. So we can kind of toss it into our replicator and recycle it. Let's go. Now, not to worry, because anything I do accidentally, like see this really good phaser, if I accidentally delete it, I can at least retrieve it. It cost me the same amount of it took to get, so there's no way to kind of cheat things like that. And anything that if you change maps, all of this goes. So you can only retrieve it if you haven't changed maps. So it's only there as a kind of an emergency fix for misclicking and nothing else. Okay, let's. This episode, I don't feel like. I think we should go take a quick look around. So there's the rest of the shuttle bay. That's where we beamed in earlier. And the shuttle bay. This is the exchange. This is where if we want to search for things, this is where we'll find them. So if we wanted to get like a, I don't know, batleth. This is Wantling and Batleths, Mark 10, 12. 50,000. Batleths 120,000. Batleth Mark 15. 55 million. Batleths in gold, that's the epic level. Need to be Fleet Admiral to wield those, 200 million. So, if you wanted a photon torpedo, a level 2 one, like similar to the ones we've got on our ship right now, 3,000. Now if we go to the end, prototype photon torpedo launcher, Mark 15 gold, 130 million. Not what makes them quite so good. They're doing 6,200 damage per hit though. Well, that one does 5,600 and that one does 6,200. Ah, this one has critical damage times 4, so it does 100% critical severity if it hits. And that one is damage. These have reload, so damage 3, so this one does 6,000. And it reloads every 4 seconds, so it's actually 1,500 DPS. So it's actually 50% better than that one. Yeah. So that's a thing, and you can put your own things up for sale and sell it. So this is an entirely user-driven marketplace. So I'm showing you the bank, and there's also a mail system. You can send mail between players, including some items. Get to that at a later date. And see what else is there around here. More mail terminals. This is a commodity trader. You get commodities. Broker, hostel, and weather. So we get medical supplies, provisions. These are kind of like things your ship can carry, in a way, as an analog to go places like medical supplies. They're used for certain missions and for certain things you may do. You can also replicate them, but they're more expensive. So here, provisions cost 150. Whereas with this person, provisions cost 100. So you can always get them in your own replicator, but they're more expensive. That only really matters in the early part of the game when money's tight. But let's see, As he said about Lieutenant Adam. Greetings, Lieutenant Commander. The Federation Aid and Outreach Program seeks to establish positive relations with many of the systems located in the star clusters throughout the explored and unexplored space. So we need to provide goods. These are all relating to areas that were basically nebula. And inside those you had lots of various missions you could go and deliver things to and sell them to, but they removed that about 7 or 8 years ago. I haven't really used this, and they're now used for the kind of missions we'll get with the duty officers. Okay, which we'll get to in a bit. Let's see. Personal equipment. Go through here. Who's this? Lieutenant Shelby. He tells you about tech upgrades. As you saw, each of the things has a mark on them. So that's a Mark II. This is a markless standard, issue 1. So anybody can use those. This one you've got to be a let's go to more details. You've got to be a lieutenant to use a Mark II. To get a Mark IV, this Mark IV, you have to be a lieutenant commander. And so on every 2 levels, so Mark 6, to use a Mark 5 or 6, you have to be a commander. 7, 8, a captain. 9, 10, etc. There's admirals and stuff, so the various marks. And the way to increase things is to use tech upgrades. Let's see if I've got something that can be upgraded. Yes, this can be upgraded. So you'd have points and then you'd put an upgrade in. I don't have any on this character at present. That's one of the things you develop in the R&D section. And it gets points, and as it reaches enough technology points, it will go up a level, and it may improve the quality when it goes up a level. So a lot of people will try and stack things up. They'll get a Mark II thing because it takes so low, and try and bump up to from common, white, through uncommon, which is green. You see that's uncommon. Then blue is rare, and then very rare is a purple, and ultra rare is then a sort of pink purple, kind of an ombre effect. And then you have gold, which is epic level, and each one of those increases their stats based on their quality as well as on their rarity. Now we have the various kits you can wear. I'm not wearing a kit at present. I don't have one. All of this will come in time. I just have one kit module that I kind of keep on me. Now let's go across. Turbo lift we can't use. We're back in the tailor. Right here in the back, there are changing rooms, which open up, and they're just like the swing doors at like a really bad clothes, not like a Gap or something. You know, damage control lockers, Stockley Corps engineers. And if I right click on the things, you can even go and sit down in the seat, so you can, you know, do some decent role playing here.
Security teams, report to docking bay 6.
And there's the replicated uniforms that they were making fun of me for wearing. And some, I don't know, cultural dresses, cultural wear, I guess is the best way to describe those. And what would we be without the sort of movie poster stance? And of course some displays, some mannequins with their clothing in the window. And some devious little Ferengi hanging around. Boy, he looks grim. We'll deal more of those in a bit. And of course, there's more to Starfleet, to, you know, the Starbase. So we've already been in that where Admiral Quinn is. There's a transporter down to Starfleet Academy. And yet another fancy waterfall. I love their waterfalls, but we also have a club. 47. Bartender Nealon. Huh? And this one serves Jumja, Larish pie, banana splits, and chocolate mousse. Actually just serves 2 things of alcohol. No. Yes. Canard, if you're a Cardassian, or Chateau Picard if you like your wine very French. Oh, and Saurian brandy, that's it. It's mostly a food place though. Of course, if you prefer, you go dancing. Complete with 80s dance up floor. Light up dance floor. And DJ Zuza. But of course, the reason most people come to like the bars like this is to use space. It's the Earth, and this Earth actually rotates very, very slowly, once every 24 hours. And there's a semi-accurate mask on it. So that's the club. Little areas where you can go. Sit down. If you have friends, people with their own characters, you can come in and play. Have a little bit of role playing going. Unfortunately, you can't come up to them and can't hit them or anything, unfortunately. But that's the way it goes. Finally, going down the bottom with this fancy thing. We have medical. Not sure what that's supposed to be exactly. Some kind of storage room. Chief medical officer. Does the same things as regenerators do. Biobeds. Not really doing much on. And a nurse looking pensive. And an officer looking injured. So, the one final thing before I forget. Yep, we'll go play around in the water. You know, the announcement to tell you off for it. These, well, take a look inside at the ships in here. So, there's no berth class here. Looks like the back end of a Saber class. Is that a Stargate class? There's the doors to the outside. It's like I have no idea what some of these are. And then there's more levels, so we can go down to this deck 84. It's a little crossroads deck. Nothing else about it really. Takes us to the mezzanine. By mezzanine deck, it means up here. So where we were just a few moments ago. Was down there. Captain Ian, that's where the starship selection is. See, there's the same, there's the Oberth class vessel we were looking at just before. Saber class. Slightly different perspective on all the ships inside space dock.
Security teams, report to docking bay 8.
And there's the requisitions area where we were before. Transporter room. And of course, over here, the memorial plaque. James Doohan, DeForest Kelly, Leonard Nimoy, Major Barrett, Gene Roddenberry, Anton Yelchin, Aaron Eisenberg, Rene Auberjonois, Nichelle Nichols, died just a couple of weeks ago, Cicely Adams, Michael Ansara, and Bennett Harv Bennett. Cliff Bowl, Merrick Buttrick, one of the earliest entries on here, in fact. David, Kirk's son. William Campbell. In fact, Cole, Klingon. The original Klingon, Michael Ansara, William Campbell, and John Colicos, the original Klingons. Andrew Courage, who created the theme music. And this is only going to get longer. Louise Fletcher was the latest one. She only died a few days ago as I'm recording this. Literally less than a week. Jeffrey Hunter, the original captain from the pilot episode. Matt Jeffries, he who designed the Jeffries tube. Heinrich Kolb, director. Mark Leonard, Sarek, we already saw just before.
Report to docking bay 6.
Ricardo Montalban, all these famous names. William Morgan Shepherd, Captain Stockwell. All been on Star Trek, had a notable role to play. And on that downer, I think this episode long enough. We're now in the modern day. We are ready to kick butt 25th century style. And until next time then, I'll see you. Have a great day and a great night. And goodbye.